Do you want to know how to lead a stress-free and productive life? Well, it's actually quite simple. In this week's episode of my Productivity Mastery series, I want to take you through the steps to actually achieving that stress-free life and becoming much more productive. Now, the first thing we have to understand is if you are trying to keep all your ideas, your commitments and your tasks in here, in your head, then you are always going to feel stressed, busy, overwhelmed, and you're not going to get a lot done because you're going to spend a lot of energy worrying about what you're not doing because your brain is reminding you about doing things when you cannot do them. The classic example is if you have a flashlight and you go and the batteries run out of your flashlight, when does your brain remind you? It reminds you the next time you pick up your flashlight and try to turn it on and it doesn't work. Your brain is not actually very smart contextually, so it doesn't remind you to buy the batteries for your flashlight when you're next at the supermarket. You will only remember that if you actually write it down on a shopping list or on a digital list if you use one. So keeping stuff in your head is actually the wrong thing to do. Now, if you want to alleviate like most of the stress, like 75% of your stress, overwhelm and busyness feeling, then you need to get it out of your head, i.e. you've got to externalize it and get it into a system. Either you get it on a piece of paper, a notebook, a digital to-do list, or wherever you want to put it, you just need to get it out of your head. But the next step, which is actually a very important step, is to decide, once you've got it out of your head, you need to decide what is it? What are you going to do with it? What is the very next step that you need to take in order to move the task, the event, or the idea forward? Now, that's really all you have to do at this stage. You just need to make a decision about what is the very next step. Now, to help you to continue to reduce those stress levels, you next need to decide, okay, I know what I have to do. When am I going to do it? And obviously that's when you look at your calendar and you have a look for maybe a free-ish looking day. Now, an example of that is today I am recording these videos, which is a Thursday. I don't normally record videos on a Thursday, but I have a big block of time, more time today than I have tomorrow, which is Friday, which is my normal day for recording. So I shifted the recording date forward to Thursday so that I can be a little bit more relaxed when I'm doing these videos. So you're going to know, once you've made the decision about what it is you have to do to move the event, the task, event or idea forward, you need to then set a date when you are going to do that. Now that's going to alleviate a lot of stress in your mind. You're just going to know, okay, I know what I have to do and I know when I'm going to do it. That is going to remove a lot of the stress. So it's out of your head, you know what you have to do and you know when you're going to do it. But the problem is that only reduces about 75% of the stress. There's still one stressor in there. There's still one factor in there that you really do need to grasp. And this is that part of GTD that many people, when you've only read the book once, you probably are going to miss. And that is trusting your system. So it's all very well getting this stuff out of your head, getting it onto a piece of paper, getting into a digital notes list. But if you're using several digital note lists, several digital lists, to-do list managers, note apps or whatever, or if you're using several notebooks or you're just scattering paper around, part of your mind is not going to trust your system. And that causes stress. And that to me is where a lot of people are really struggling. A lot of it comes about because you're continuously app switching, so you don't really know the system, you're not fully trusting the system, but also it's because you're using too many tools and that it just gets very confusing about where you put everything. Now, if you look at people like Sir Richard Branson, Sheryl Sandberg, and even David Allen, if you read the articles about what they've been doing, or if you're actually lucky enough to meet those people and you ask them what tools do they use, you'll find out that they've been using the same tools for over 20 years. That's correct. They've been using the same tools for over 20 years. They trust their system. Their system does not let them down. Now, the whole point of becoming, if you've ever read Getting Things Done, the second part of that title is The Art of Stress-Free Living. And to me, that is one of the fundamental reasons why we need to become better organized and more productive. It isn't just because we have a nice list of things that we have to do, but it's also the fact that the stress, the overwhelm, and that busyness feeling disappears. But you will only get there completely when you trust your system. So of course, the larger part of removing stress is getting it out of your head and onto an externalized source, wherever that is, digital or paper. But that isn't enough. You need to go to the next level. And the next level is all about trusting your system. You need to know that when you capture something, when you collect something, you're going to put it in the right place. Events go on your calendar, tasks go in your to-do list, and your notes go into your notes app. But you need to know that the task list manager, your calendar, and your notes app, you need to know how to use them completely. You need to play around with it. You need to spend a day playing with Evernote if you're using Evernote or OneNote or Notion or whichever app you have made a decision on using. Really learn how to use it properly. Learn how to search, particularly for notes. That's something that is crucial. Learn how to use the search functionality. If it's got like natural note searching, then find out the wording to make sure that you're finding the right notes. Really start to trust your system. Now, the thing about trusting apps and the thing about trusting the tools that you're using, it does take time. You're not going to download a new app and you're not going to be able to trust that within the first few days. It's going to take weeks before you totally trust it, which is why you've got to give any app that you're using a real chance. If you're using notebooks, don't have multiple notebooks. Make sure you're using like little post-it markers so that you can actually identify the crucial information. Create an index at the back or the front of your notebook and write down crucial information. Add page numbers. These kind of back-end work that you do is really going to help you to trust your system. So that's really the key message here is if you truly want to live that stress-free, productive life that I suppose is the productivity nirvana that we're all searching for, then there are several parts to the equation. Of course, the first part is to get the stuff that's in, whatever has your attention, whatever's on your mind, get it out of your mind and into an external source. The second part is make a decision about what that is and what you need to do in order to move it forward. If you can, set a date. Now, when I mean set a date, don't just add random dates because then you become numb to the dates and they have no purpose. What I generally do is if it's something I don't want to start right now, I will then say, okay, I want to review this in 3 weeks' time. And what I will do is I will add a date 3 weeks' time with the task which says review this idea or review this appointment or review this project. All it is a review. I can then give myself permission saying I'm not ready to review it. I'm going to postpone it another month. I will postpone it another month. That's not a huge commitment, but at least it is a decision about what I'm going to do with something. If I'm not ready to make a decision on a project or an idea or whatever right now, I will add that review this project, review this task, review this note, and just move it forward 3, 4, 5 weeks. Sometimes I've actually moved things forward to as far as 3 months because I'm just at the wrong time of the year. We're just starting spring, for example, right now. I might have an idea that I want to do in August, so I'm just going to add review in 6 months' time. There's no problem. I have no problem with that, but it's review. So I can then give myself permission to say, no, I'm not ready to do that. I'll do this later next year. I'll just add the date for next year. But that's giving me permission. But the key there is I've made a decision about what I'm going to do. I will review this in 3 months' time. Everything like that, you want to at least have some idea about what's going to happen next and more importantly, when it's going to happen next. It's all very well saying, okay, write this report and then just dump it into your to-do list. But if there's no way that you're going to see that when you need to see it, your brain is going to come back to it saying, don't forget that report, don't forget that report. And that's adding to the stress. So make sure that whatever decision you make about anything you collected, you are actually making a decision about when you are going to do it as well. Now, once you've got all that working, flowing, you've got out of your head, you've made decisions about it, you know when you're going to look at it, and you trust your system, that's when you move into that next real superior level of productivity, because you are completely relaxed, you're on top of everything, you know what's coming. It's a great word that I like to use here, and I picked this up and I totally confess I stole this from David Allen. You are situationally aware. You know what's coming, you know what you've got to do, you know when you're going to do it, and if you're really tired, you can take a nap. And that is when you get to that higher level of productivity. And it's a wonderful place to be. You are completely relaxed. Your shoulders are nice and down. They're not up here. You're not stressed. You know what's happening and you know when you're going to do it. And that is the key to that superior level of productivity. If you like, the productivity enlightenment. And it's a really nice place to be. And really all you have to do is follow the steps that I've shown in this video. Okay, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you have, please hit that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you for watching this video. Now, if you want to take your productivity to a higher level, then get yourself enrolled in my 2019 edition of Your Digital Life 2.0 online. It is a complete, comprehensive productivity and time management course, and it's a course that will take you to levels of productivity you have only ever dreamt of before. It shows you how to build your very own COD system, collect, organize and do. It shows you how to create the folder structure, how to build into your goals, into your daily to-do list. It has everything. And not only that, you will get a free copy of Your Digital Life 2.0, the book. You also get a free workbook and you get access to all the slides that are used in the course. It is incredible value. I want to see you in that course. If you are serious about becoming productivity, then please join me in Your Digital Life 2.0, the 2019 edition. Thank you very much for watching this video.